Rose. Actually, the first two place getters in this year's Golden Slipper were both bred and raised on our feed, as were the first three place getters in this year's Magic Million. So the big Easter yearling sales coming up, that's always a big time of the year for us. That's a big part of our business, is dealing with those thoroughbred studs.
And also, just to go back to Kate, because we have a very special class to introduce you to here. And this is the parent and rider, I think, is it? Or child? Neville?
Yes, Angus, it's class 609.
609, thanks, Kate. And so, Stephen, you've been chef to keep, haven't you?
Yeah, London was my last game, so
Right.
I did it from the Sydney Olympics to the London Olympics, so sort of 13 years.
That's a thrill.
It was a lot of fun.
And how do you think Australia will go over in Rio?
Well, I think we've got the makings of a pretty solid team. It's pretty exciting at the moment with the World Cup finals on this weekend in Gothenburg, and Chris Chugg, who would normally be here at Sydney Show, he's actually there flying the flag for Australia. He's sitting in 14th position going into the final day. Edwina Alexander's in 20th. Edwina will obviously be the stalwart of the team, as she has been for a number of years, and there's actually a heap of Australian riders just gone over to Europe. Merrick Eubank and David Cameron.
Right.
Jamie Kermon's over there, Stevie Hill. So there's a big contingent of them gone over. So the selection trials are in May.
And isn't that wonderful? Merrick Eubank, as you said, has just gone over recently with Alan Tinas, a horse that was sired by Alamo and owned by the Kidson family from Mackay, so we certainly wish him well.
Yeah, well, that's right. And Alamo that Adam Medals rode, and there's quite a few of those Alamos, really starting to make their mark in the sport now. It'll be interesting. There's 6 or 7 riders, Australian riders in Europe now, so... and then there's Matt Williams and Scott Keesh in America. We've got some good contenders.
Well, if you could just excuse us now, Kate, this is Kate's this is her first Royal Show, and I want her to have the great honour of introducing the Arabian Derivatives Show or Native Costume class that we introduced before. So it's over to you, Kate.
Thank you very much, Angus. Yes, Class 57, Arabian Derivative Show or Native Costume, and the winner is Eliza Babazogli from Glossodia, thank you, and HT Lend Me Some Magic is the horse, catalogue number 1103. Both of them so colourful and looking fantastic out there, and now our blue ribbon going to Eliza Babazogli.
That's a beautiful costume.
Indeed, lots of work going into that, which means that in second place, congratulations to Stephanie and Tess O'Connor from Seaforth in New South Wales with D'Artagnan in disguise. This horse has been out in various events throughout the course of the show, and now covered up there. So this is catalogue number 1982, the Arabian Derivative Show or Native Costume. And Angus, on the far side, it does say Class 609, but in fact you were correct. It is the parent and child riding contest, and they are starting the first of the workouts. Parents and their children are out there, and as I'm sure people have picked up, there are so many very, very successful riders whose children then go on and want to also embark on a show career, and this event really celebrates the talents of both generations.
Well, folks, we have a nice little piece of music just to bring up as they parade off in this costume class. All right. So a little bit of bolero. Well, Kate, there you go. We'll just play bolero as they go around. That's taking a step back in time, isn't it? I could picture you over there being, and with out on the speed and galloping and costume, and John coming up behind you as the sheik and saying, "Hey, woman, don't spend all my money." It's a, oh boy, oh boy. Oh dear. Well, give them a nice round of applause as they go by. So Stephen Lamb, that's a great sight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Did you ever, looking at the parent and child, did you get together with your dad to compete, Mum?
No, I can't recall that. Probably got led around on plenty of Shetland ponies by them.
Yeah.
But no actual parent and child.
Well, look, enjoy the music. I'll get Trev to bring up the music and enjoy it as they parade off the arena. Congratulations, well done. Thanks, Trev, and thanks to, we call fabulous Phil, who got the fabulous Trev here tonight. Yeah, the boys are really marvellous the way that they just find music for us when we ask, so thank you very much for that. So, Kate Day, we have a very special thank you to say to all those, to our judges leaving the arena too. We'd like to say a very special thank you to our lovely judge that's been with us, Glenys Lawley. Thanks, Glenys, and also to Alex Wrigley and Mr. Dick Adams and Councillor Duncan McIntyre for doing a great job in the Arabian derivative classes throughout the day as well. So thank you very much, and thank you to all our wonderful stewards and volunteers, to all the volunteers here. Right around the ground, there's hundreds, thousands of volunteers at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Welcome to you all as well. So Kate, we'll just get Kate to introduce to the class, then we'll come back and talk to Stephen Lamb.
All right then, Angus. Well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty as tent pegging is not too far away, so we're getting to the champion level of our classes. So over underneath the screen we have champion, and that is champion and reserve champion show hunter horse over 15 hands to be decided. And over this side in front of the Sydney Show Stadium we are looking for our champion and reserve champion ridden Australian saddle pony. So those two classes. Our parent and child class continues underneath the Cumberland stand, and our gentleman's Galloway looks like it's still continuing there to be ridden by a gentleman 17 years and over. That's class 588 in front of the Vincent Fairfax stand.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Kate. And Stephen, so looking at show dumping, how's show dumping looking? And look at all the disciplines at present, and the various disciplines we have at the present time. So how's it all looking for Australia?
I think the overall participation rates seem to be very strong. There's more and more people coming through, taking the sport up. Show jumping is obviously what I follow most closely, and there's been some really good innovations in the last few years, like those amateur classes that the Royals run now for the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, they're a great thing, and there's such a great camaraderie amongst those amateur riders, whether it's at the Royal or at the other shows that they compete at throughout the year. And eventing and dressage, they're all very strong. We always have faced the same battle of, the sport basically being based in Europe, and that's where you need to be to compete on the world stage. Mm-hmm. And the value of top-line competition horses now is just, phenomenal.
I was just trying to find your email you sent through, or your message you sent through. I apologise there, but so it's all looking pretty good. Yeah,
I think so. Like, obviously the eventers are our main focus as far as, hoping to get a medal in Rio. And again, like, there's a lot of those boys that are based in the UK, but then you still have some, here you got Shane Rose and Stuart Tenney and Tim Boland. So there's they always seem to be able to balance up a team from here and out of the UK. So
Yeah,
and
Kate.
Well, you touched on the huge investment now required. In Australia, I think we're lucky in that we're still not having to pay quite the same amount of money that they're paying in Europe. But can you give us an indication of what a competitive horse would cost domestically and what they would pay for an equivalent horse overseas?
Well, I mean, the advantage we've got in Australia is that, we can raise horses as well as anyone in the world, probably better. Australia and New Zealand are recognised globally as being like thoroughbred breeding nurseries. So look, even that being said, the cost has increased dramatically in the last few years. Probably, if you look at those amateur horses this morning, probably a number of those are in the $15,000 to $20,000 bracket, and then to go on to an internationally competitive horse like a medal-winning jumping horse is virtually, priceless. They can't be bought, whether it's for 5 million or 10 million euro. But there's only a handful of those, and in Europe particularly, where again there's been an influx of amateur riders at a much higher level as well. So they're paying more money. You go to shows in America or in Europe, and there's Tom Selleck's daughter, there's Bill Gates's daughter, Georgina Bloomberg, Springsteen's daughters, and they've all come through the sport, and some of them are very, very competitive at the highest level now. But it makes it very expensive.
Well, money is no option. So, I mean, really, has the day gone where you could breed your own horse and manage to take it overseas and be competitive? Are we really looking that we need imported warm blood genetics from Europe and horses that are really worth, millions of dollars, as you say?
Oh, no, it can still be done from here. And although, even now, like when we went to the Australian show jumping team that competed in Hong Kong for the 2008 Beijing Olympics, that was our first jumping team that didn't have a thoroughbred on it. That was the first time. So, there's still some great thoroughbred horses out there, but by and large now we all use imported warm blood breeding. But that can be done with artificial insemination or frozen semen. So there's plenty of horses, like as we discussed, Merrick's gone to Europe now on a horse that was bred in Australia. Chris Chugg's at the World Cup final on a young horse that he bought from Europe, came to Australia, competed on it, and that's what he did very successfully with Vivant, the horse that he rode at the 2010 World Championships in Kentucky. Chris and his wife at the time, Helen, went to Europe, sourced Vivant as a 2-year-old, brought him back to Australia, produced him to an international level, took him back to Europe and sold him. So, they've got, the Europeans have the bloodlines, but we have the facility and the room to raise those horses. And the world's got smaller. It's easier to transport horses around. It's still quite expensive, but it is easier to do. So that's probably a lot of the way forward. And there's some very, very good, strong breeding programs here now. Like people like Alice Cameron from Oak Sport Horses has really put a lot of work into in modern times. But if you go back, like Chris Chugg's mother, Bev, there's no one's tried harder to breed jumping horses in Australia than Bev, and has bred some very, very good ones. Then we can sell them back to the world stage. And people often sort of bemoan the fact that a lot of our good horses get sold, particularly in the lead up to an Olympic Games, but we'd actually have a much bigger problem if no one in the world wanted to buy our horses. So it's a good thing. That's what keeps the wheels of the whole job turning.
And warm bloods now, I was just saying to Kate before, when I first came down in '94, the City-Royal show was predominantly all thoroughbreds, and hasn't it changed now?
Oh, yeah, it has. But the warm blood marketing machine is a very clever one, in so much as, from time to time they will ordain a thoroughbred stallion and say, for our purposes now, this horse is ordained into our stud book, or
right.
And any horse, if it's out of a thoroughbred mare, but by a warm blood stallion, the offspring is generically referred to as a warm blood.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 50% thoroughbred. So, that is a bit sort of all-encompassing.
Well, thanks for coming and joining us this afternoon, my friend. It's lovely to see you, and congratulations on all you've achieved for Australia in regards to showing. It's been terrific. It's you've done Victoria proud, Mum and Dad proud, and the whole family proud. And there's another result for our Galloways, and we'll get pass it up to to Katie. But look, all the very best. Thank you to your wonderful company for your support. Thank you for your sponsorship, and I'll look forward to seeing you both later on.
No worries. Thanks, Angus.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks,
Stephen
Kate.
Lamb. Back to Kate. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you. Yes, we're all thanking each other. Thank you, thank you. Well, Class 588, Gentleman's Galloway. We have the result here for Class 588 to be ridden by a gentleman 17 years and over. And congratulations go to Johnson & Johnson McNeil family from Dubbo with Chippenham Zulu. This is catalogue 1708. In second place, Trish Stedman-Towell from Bowral with Royal Wood Concerto, catalogue number 2295. In third place, catalogue number 1538, GC Equestrian and Barbara Barr from Glenarbra in Queensland with Talia Park Night Divine. In fourth place, Joe Bailey and Daisy Patch Stud from the Oaks with Daisy Patch Toy Story, catalogue 1107. And in fifth place, it's Shelley Penny from Traralgon in Victoria with Sheldine Strauss. That's catalogue number 2065. Well, that was a great class there, the Gentleman's Galloway Class 588. Congratulations to our winner once again, Chippenham Zulu, Johnson & Johnson McNeil family from Dubbo, and to all of the other place getters as well.
Thanks, Kate Day. Well, folks, we have 2 championship events to be decided here this afternoon, and that will... we have a very special one too, and this is the HB and AG Hayden Memorial Perpetual Trophy donated by Mrs. Jill Grant for the champion ridden Australian saddle pony, and thanks to Robert Grant for just a wonderful. I'll let you know a little bit about the history of these beautiful stud too, and just amazing people with have been just champions over the years. So when we look at the history of Bambara Pony Stud, it's just amazing, the history. Bambara Pony Stud, which is owned by the late Jill Grant and Robert Grant, was founded in 1969, producing Welsh ponies, Welsh part Welsh, Australian riding ponies and Australian saddle ponies. And the emphasis being to produce the Royal Show quality ponies with the movement and cool and placid temperaments as well. And the stud began with a beautiful Galloway mare, and that was Bambolina. He was a thoroughbred cross Welsh, and she won 23 first prizes at Sydney Royal Show, a record in 6 years, and was champion saddle Galloway for 4 years, leaving a great legacy in the stud through her 3 daughters, which were the foundation of the riding pony, part Welsh and saddle pony sections. Many descendants of this great mare are successfully shown in our show team. And since that time, well, you know, the rest is history, and we will let you know more about this trophy, and that is coming up very, very soon. So, lovely people, and thanks, Katie Day. And Jill Grant was just the most beautiful lady. I had the pleasure of seeing Jill many times at the Royal Shows, and she came up to Toowoomba, and she was here at Sydney and Canberra. Of course, they live at Cara, and just it's just wonderful. And the trophy will be a cold cast bronze horse by Mary Pinsent, and edition in 59,500, raised on the Timber Plith, donated by Mrs. Jill Grant of Bambara Pony Stud, and first presented in 1997. Awarded for the champion ridden Australian saddle pony, and back in 97 it was won by the Aintree Stud and Radnor Corrie. Well, all the names as you go down after that are the who's who of the equestrian world and the showing world, really. So, and Kate and I look forward to letting you know more about that when that award comes up. But if Robert Grant's here today, welcome, Robert. And also a very warm welcome to Brookie Stevenson, if Brooke's here, because Brooke, in fact, paid tribute and wrote a beautiful eulogy about the life of the wonderful and the great and the late Jill Grant. And it was, as I said, a delightful lady. Her favourite colour was pink, and everything about her dress, and she always presented herself beautifully, and a lady that's sadly missed in the equestrian world.
So Angus, we've moved on to our champion and reserve champion show hunter horse over 15 hands, that class 647 that's currently up on the big screen. Lovely big show hunters there. Cantering for our judge, Mrs. Francine Treneman, for the last time today, and we'll be deciding our champion and reserve champion from this class.
So that's not far away, and we also have another champion too down here to be decided too for our champion, reserve champion ridden Australian saddle pony as well, before our judge, Mr. Jeffrey Perry, who's judging at the present time. And once again, a very special thank you to Peter Eggleton, who's been down there looking after the ring down there. Thank you also to all the other stewards that have been down there as well. And it's been just great to see.
And over in front of the Martin and Angus stand, we're continuing on with the workouts in our parent and child rider class. This is always a very special class. It's a little bit hard for us to see all the way over here, but it seems like everyone's behaving themselves. No major domestics going on at the moment.
Well, Kate, we also have the great pleasure of seeing, I think, down there for the presentation at the present time. We welcome here this afternoon. Thanks to Jeff Searle for being here. Jeff Searle and also Mr. Noel Hickman, who's with us today. Welcome to you, sir, who will be presenting the HB and AG Hayden Memorial Perpetual Trophy. So welcome, Mr. Hickman. It's nice to welcome you down here to the Spotless Stadium. And also assisting down there in that ring, we say a very big thank you to Mike Avent, who's steward throughout the day. And also thanks to Janet Dowse, thanks to Janet. And a very special thank you to Michelle Brennan, too. Thanks to Michelle for all her wonderful support down there, too. Right over the far side of the arena, we just say thank you also to young Christopher Eggleton. So it's not very often we have the pleasure of seeing father and son as chief stewards in both rings. So Christopher's over with the show hunters and Dad Pete's down here with the Australian saddle pony. So over there we say thank you to Mr. James Angus from Armidale. James and his Deborah. James, we have Miss Alexandra Murray. James, by the way, is the fifth generation of the Angus family to be appointed on council here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show or the Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales. And also Sky Eggleton. Sky is Chris's lovely sister and Peter's daughter, Peter and Sally's daughter. So welcome to Sky as well. Then around on the far side of the arena with this wonderful class that Kate just mentioned to you, being judged for our parent and child riding, we have Sally Watkins, our judge, and councillor over there is, I think, Councillor Bill Pickin. And Councillor Bill Pickin was our ringmaster up until last year, and John Bennett has taken over now. And we also welcome over there our other wonderful stewards that also steward in show jumping too. And that's Jenny Carraro and also Dave Chittick. And also Lindsay Douglas is over there too, stewarding as well. So, and Dave Chittick is there is stewarding there for Sally Watkins. And thanks to Jenny. Jenny does a great job penciling in the show dumping as well. So thanks, Jenny, for all your wonderful support. Delightful lady, and her son competes in the show dumping here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show as well.
So Angus, these are our champion and reserve champion hopefuls for the show hunter class. They're up on the big screen, and we see that there's a beautiful garland that the winner will be presented with. And we have our judge, Ms. Francine Treneman, out there looking so stunning and stylish in her cream silk. And here we are. We will get our golden envelope, open it up, and congratulations go to Rebecca Crane and Ali Burke and Billy Raymond from Curran in Queensland with Ribbleton, France. That is catalogue number 1334, champion show hunter horse over 15 hands now for Sydney Royal 2016. Congratulations there.
I think Ali's in the saddle too by the look of it, I think. So congratulations, well done.
So the winner of this class will receive the RAS of New South Wales Award of Excellence Medallion for the Champion Show Hunt Horse of over 15 hands. There's also a product prize from International Animal Health and another product prize supported by Oakwood Products. So we thank our sponsors for that one.
Thanks, Jeff Searle from Oakwood Products, and we have the head councillor James Angus, who's assisted by Chris Eggleton, putting the magnificent garland you see there on the horse as well.
Which is supported by the Australian Hunter Horse Association and does look absolutely stunning. So how exciting.
And Billy Ramos, he'll take all the credit. You know, he's for washing and cleaning and grooming. Oh, boy. He's a worry, that young Billy.
So we can now move on to our reserve champion, and congratulations go to Bella Rossa. Scott and Mrs. Rachel Wessel from Clonbinane in Victoria, catalogue number 2422. Bella Rossa, reserve champion, show hunter horse over 15 hands.
And while she competes in the show hunter classes, her husband Scott competed in the shadowing here at the show this year too, and also in the amateur classes. So it's great to see. They're a great combination. We had the pleasure, as I mentioned earlier, they had the pleasure of their company. Scott was working in the mines up in central Queensland for a while, and Rachel, she brought with her a beautiful hax and competed and won so many championships up in central Queensland, Rockhampton, right through to Cairns in North Queensland. That happened in June and July, so congratulations to her as well. And also to the other exhibits, congratulations to them too as they come out of the arena of the Spotless Stadium. Well, here's some special hunter music, as I'll be trading off very soon. That makes Katie Day tap her feet, I tell you. Well, they'll be trading up very soon, and you can see all the jumps coming out in readiness for the 6-bar shadowing event. Well, we'll just go back to the music, and as they parade off, I'll get Kate to introduce you to the champion reserve one more time.